Hi, and welcome to Not the Fuck Gaming Podcast, a podcast where we talk about games, and sometimes we don't say fuck. I am William Hououin, and I'm with.
Gruebitten.
And today we have a special guest, who is.
Leahpar.
All right, hi, Leahpar. We did a podcast together a few weeks ago, and
Yes.
I thought it would be great to bring you back on the show, on a real show, episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
So here we get to know people talking about the games we've been playing. So, Leahpar, what have you been playing lately?
I played Terraria, and I played this morning too.
So, how do you like Terraria?
Very much. It's like a survival game, and is 2D, so you play with me.
Yes, indeed. My Leahpar is quite a fan of survival games like Ark, Survival Evolved, Minecraft, but I always have some troubles with first-person 3D games, and Terraria is pretty much kind of like Minecraft, but as a side-scroller, so it does speak to me.
It's more difficult than Minecraft.
Oh, you would say it's more difficult?
Yeah.
Have you played Gruebitten? Have you played Terraria?
I have. I think there's probably more storyline and more to it than Minecraft. I hate saying more to it because Minecraft has the redstone and things you can do with that really build on each other. But I didn't play it for long because the things you love about it is what I couldn't stand about it. I don't like the flat 2D side scroller.
I know it. Yeah.
I love the 3D immersive world.
Yeah, more like the 3D, but that I can play 2D with no problem.
Huh. That's great. I mean, there's stuff for everybody out there.
Indeed, there's so many games. It makes me anxious to think about that. Like right now, I don't have enough of a lifespan to play all the games there is. Think about it and try to not end up in the hospital for a panic attack. But I mean, it's kind of crazy. There's a bunch of games. I saw a stat the other day, and I can't remember if it was every week or every month, but they were talking about like 1,000 games each, 1,000 games that were released and I can't remember if it's weeks or months, but it's crazy the amount of games.
Crazy, yeah. Even if it was a year.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think making games is a lot easier than it once was. And,
I mean, I remember when you would wait like months for a new game to come into the game store. And it was a big deal.
Yeah, we were playing. Leahpar didn't experience that period of time. But when I was young, we were playing our games for a very long time. We knew them by heart. And and when you think about it, Leahpar saw me play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Fall of the Foot Clan. It's the black and white 2D turtle games that I've played like a few months ago. And I did the whole game in 21 minutes.
Because you were playing that when you was little.
Yep.
More young.
Yep. Yeah. It was one of my first game ever. And it took me months to beat it back in the day because games were not that mainstream and I was pretty young and not that good at games. But yeah, there was 21 minutes worth of content in that game. And I remember when I got that game, it was one of my like 3 games I got in that year. Think about that. 3 games a year, 21 minutes of content.
Wow.
Yep. So we were playing our games a lot. And if we were in those days, you wouldn't see like Steam achievement of super early game achievement at like 3% of players got it. This is another talking point that we won't go right now, but the whole achievement thing, it always makes me feel weird when I go to Steve achievement page. Look at take Journey for example. I've played this game. It takes 2 hours to beat. Okay, it's a very short game. It's not hard. You just walk towards the mountain, and this is pretty much it. And you get to the end, and boom, the game is done. You get your little trophy achievement, like you finished the journey. And it's an old game. It's like 5, 6, 7 years old or something like that. And only like 30% of people got that achievement. 2 hours to beat it. And 7 players out of 10 didn't make it that far. Because there's a lot of games to play. And there's not that much time in a day.
Yeah.
So anyway, very long tangent about that, but it's always something that is interesting to me. So, Gru, what have you been playing since we last talked?
Well, there's 2 new games I've been playing. Mostly, I've been playing things I've been playing before, but 2 little new games I've been playing is both from the Apple Arcade, so they're on iOS. I looked it up, and I don't think they're on any other platforms other than just iOS, Apple Arcade. But if you do have Apple Arcade, there's Stitch, which is like it's a puzzle game.
Oh yeah.
It's deceptively simple, but it gets very complex, and it's also very mellow and relaxing. And I think it'd be great for putting on your phone to do like while you're waiting in a doctor's office or whatever, because it's the type of thing you can do and just put down anytime. Basically, there's like boxes and it has numbers, and like the number is 3, and you have to have 3 boxes in a row or 3 boxes across, or if it's 4, it can be like in a square. Which again seems very, very simple, but obviously if you have a lot of numbers and ways that they can fit together, it gets complex. It's not the thing where it's matching like Candy Crush or whatever. That's not it. They're all just blank boxes with the numbers at various spacings. So it's all about how you envision it.
I saw some images. I'll put footage as usual when we talk about less known games, so people can see. But yeah, it looked great. Not really my thing, but I like the aesthetic of the game.
It's
Definitely.
not a game that's going to keep you like occupied for hours, but it's definitely a really good game to put on your phone, because it looks like it does not take a lot of power to run, and just to have it to what my mom calls a patience dispenser. It's something to keep you patiently waiting when you need to. The other game I played was called Farmside, which is a farming game.
Did it make your iPad explode? I've seen some people having trouble with the performance on their devices, but maybe they were using old iPads. I don't know. How did it work for you performance wise?
I didn't notice anything.
Okay, good.
However, I do have this fancy brand new iPad Pro, so which I'm loving.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I have a regular one, but a recent one, and it was a big upgrade from the one I had like 5 years ago. So I can imagine how great a Pro is.
So, yeah, I didn't notice anything about the way it ran.
Okay,
So
good.
I guess it ran just fine. It's by Team 17 or The Label. I don't know. On Apple Arcade, it said The Label, but when I looked it up on the internet, it said Team 17. So,
Oftentimes, what you see on the App Store is the publisher. It's not the developer. Yeah, this is what I because me, I love indie games. I love games made by one person or very small teams and stuff like that. And so I always look the dev quite a bit. Lately, what I've been noticing is that what's written below the title is the publisher. It's not necessarily the developer of the game. Anyway.
Well, my general impression of it is it's very poppy. It's a very poppy game. Like when you tap these things to collect your things, it's all pop, pop, pop. It's kind of addictive. It looks really, really cheesy, but it was more fun than I expected. And the little storylines they have are kind of funny. I'm enjoying the storylines a lot more than I thought I would too.
Cheesy can be good.
Yeah.
It really can be when it's made the right way.
Unfortunately, they did do one thing where the storylines kind of get interrupted and they interrupt each other because you have to do these tasks to get the next bit in the story.
Okay.
But they kind of just come all at once. So you're getting all these stories simultaneously. Like I've got 5 storylines going and then I get a little bit of one and then a little bit of a next. And so that bothers me. I'd rather get through a big chunk of one and then move over to another one. But really it's kind of cute and funny. And I made my character look as evil as I possibly could.
Of course. And you tried to make alliance with the baddies of the game, but it probably didn't work out.
No, you don't get any choices at all.
Yeah. This is what happens. All right. You're making me intrigued. I have an active Apple Arcade subscription, so I'm probably gonna just get a look. You're making me intrigued. That's for sure.
Okay, all right. That's it for the new games I've tried.
All right. It's a lot less than what we usually get from you, but
yeah, well, I was pretty sick
it's
for
okay.
a while.
Yeah, I know. It's totally fine. Well, on my end, I don't have that much to say either. I've been playing quite a bit more of Villagers and Heroes, even streamed some Villagers and Heroes, tried the raids. I haven't raided since like the first 2 seasons, I think. So I've been messing with that. It's quite fun. I had Imp and Severendel coming with me, raiding, even streamed it. I'm having a lot of fun with Villagers and Heroes right now.
I've been playing that too, some.
Yeah.
Been
Go ahead.
messing around with all my different alts, trying to figure out if I need to make changes or not with all this new mana update.
Yeah, some people are not fans, but as I predicted, I will admit to you that I've raided with Imp and Severendel before the patch, and yesterday I went in, or the day before, but anyway, I went in to do some solo raids, and it was fine. Stuff were, baddies were dying. I've won the raids, so as I've predicted, I can't really see that much of a difference. But I'm not a min-maxer, so I'm not the one to go and try to max out stat and get the best out of every skills, and so
I'm the same way. My characters mostly run the same, it seems. Again, I haven't had enough time to play enough to really get a feel for anything yet, so.
Yeah, but I would say at first glance, I can't say I've noticed much of a difference. So, but anyway, I've been playing that quite a bit more than usual, and I'm still playing Scourgebringer. I really love Scourgebringer, and now I'm like 65 hours in, something like that, 70 maybe. That's a lot since you can clear the game in 20 minutes. So
Wow.
yeah, I've been playing that a lot, and I don't know if it ever happened to you before, and I know it's temporary because no games are like the best game ever forever. At some point, you get into something else and you move on. That's what I'm trying to say. But right now, Scourgebringer is ruining all other games for me. I've tried to go back to Bloodstain, and I thought it was so slow. I couldn't get into it. And I've played a few other games, and you know, yeah, I don't know if it ever happened to you. Like you play something and you think, I would have more fun with this other game, and so you switch to the other game. I've been trying to move past Scourgebringer. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to move past it because I've played it a lot and I've seen what there is to see, but I can't. I can't. So
Yeah, I've experienced what you've experienced. It just means that's what you're finding fun. I go for it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if that's what you're having fun doing, then
I'm
do
not
it.
depressed. Yeah, I'm not depressed about it, but it just doesn't happen to me very often. I can't remember the last time something like that happened.
How about you, Leahpar?
Yeah. Did you ever experience that? Like you like a game so much that even though you're kind of done with the game, you can't play another game. Did you experience that with something?
Yes, with Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the Minecraft dungeon, but I stop and I restart and it's fun with the update.
Yeah.
Are you finding that Terraria now is replacing Minecraft for you for that?
Yes.
Yeah, Leahpar can't get the latest Minecraft updates because it's playing mostly on Switch. And they're not updating it anymore. So
yeah.
that.
So you see the video of the guy with all the new update, and you're, yes, I can't play this update.
Oh, that's a real bummer.
Mm-hmm. We would need a PC. I know Leahpar wants to play on PC, but
yeah.
But then they want to charge you for it again, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And the thing is, we have a new PC here, but it's definitely like a PC for making like taxes and
yeah.
It's not a PC. It's not a gaming PC.
No.
Yeah, it's like my computer.
We could try. I guess nowadays playing like Minecraft on PC, you probably don't need a very good PC.
No, you can play on a laptop and everything.
Yeah, but there's good laptops.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all about the graphic cards nowadays. Yeah. And I don't know if... Anyway, all that to say, Leahpar doesn't get the latest Minecraft updates, which kind of suck.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
But I don't really play much. I don't play Minecraft because I did already what I wanted to do in this game.
Well, so you have Terraria now.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're probably going to go back to Ark Survival Evolved.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Ark.
Mm-hmm. I know why you both love Ark. And the reason you like it is probably the reason I don't. So, yeah. All right, so this is pretty much it for me. There's something I forgot once again to do in the beginning of the show, and it's to read the comments we got on the last episode. So The last episode was the one with Brad, and we talked about what did we talk about with Brad again? Oh, about underrated and overrated games.
Right.
So I'm gonna read. We only have like Zachariah's comment. He was with me on a special episode of the podcast last week. I had a great time talking games with Zach. It was fun to have old man gaming on my show. So he says, "Greetings and salutations." In parentheses, still workshopping my exclamation point greeting. I meant so good, I know type good. Pinkie Pie for life. But I'm no one kid show pony. Oh yeah, we talked about My Little Pony favorite, and his favorite is Rubble. Rubble is the best. Oh no, man, I'm reading it all pretty badly. Is Pinkie Pie a Little Pony?
Yes.
Okay, so Pinkie Pie is his favorite Little Pony, and Rubble is the best Paw Patrol. The bulldog construction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, for us, Leahpar, it's Ruben. Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about that in the podcast with Brad. All the Paw Patrol names are not the same. In like in French, Sky is Stella. So, and Marcus in English is Marshall. So it's kind of
Isn't that it's weird because we are not listening the Paw Patrol in English, so to see the name of the Paw Patrol like this is weird.
yeah, it's weird. I'll show you later all the names. It's indeed kind of weird. So yeah, Gru, have you tried State of Decay 2 or RimWorld? Not sure why I'm obsessed with recommending games to you, but I feel you may enjoy. Do you know about State of Decay 2 or RimWorld?
I have heard of RimWorld, but isn't that like discontinued?
I can't say, to be honest.
I've never heard of State of Decay 2.
Zach is doing on his channel quite a few State of Decay 2 videos, and I'll be honest, I don't have anything to play the game because it's pretty much either a PC game or I think it's on Xbox Game Pass. But I don't have any of those things, so if it was on PlayStation 4, I would probably give it a go. It's not that far from Dismantle in some weird way. It's not the same at all, but you know, it's kind of a survival game without much of survival aspects like hunger and thirst and stuff like that. It looks pretty good, like a zombie shooter where you build up your community and get some procedurally generated characters. It looks
fun.
pretty good. Yeah, honestly, if you have some time, just look it up on YouTube. There's a bunch of stuff, and yeah, it looks pretty good, but it's unfortunately not available for me. It doesn't exist on anything I can play it on. So Brad should try Grounded based on what he likes about Fallout 76. So we'll pass the word to Brad that he should try Grounded. I think Breath of the Wild is absolutely the best Zelda. That being said, I hated the breaking mechanic, or more so the inability to fix them in any way. I am hoping the second one is way better.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
is that I didn't like Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild because of the sword, because I don't have the good sword, and my spawn point was in the. It was in the.
Oh yeah, in the big elephant.
Yeah.
You were at the big elephant boss, and there was no way for you to go back.
No, it's not the boss, but because of because of a robot, when I can not get out. So when I just went to go up to finish my sword and my shield break.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
it sucked. Yeah, he was definitely. I was there. I was watching him play. He was definitely kind of soft luck.
yeah,
I didn't see a way out of this, apart from being like getting super good at the game. But
yeah.
you know,
But it was
it's
Oh.
fun to play. Beside that, it was fun.
it's a big world. It's pretty to
Yeah,
look at. The story is interesting, but I
Yeah,
couldn't get on with the mechanics.
yeah.
that's what I felt too. Like it was really fun, except that the everything my weapons breaking them. It was a deal breaker for me. That was the
Yeah,
really breaker.
unintended. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It was just that was the one big thing.
yeah. So then he goes on his most underrated game is Young Souls. It is a dungeon crawler with loot, but plays like a side-scrolling brawler. It's absolutely amazing. I nearly 100%ed it. I've put that on my wish list. It's on PS4 too. It does look pretty good, and I think it's we can play 2 players.
Yeah,
So
so we
maybe,
can try.
yep, maybe we could play together. It looks kind of like the turtle games we played, Shredder's
Oh yeah,
Revenge,
yeah. With
but there's more loot, like in
oh
Minecraft
yeah.
Dungeon. So
Oh
it's a weird
yeah.
mix between those two things. Maybe we could, when it gets on sale, I might pull the trigger. Most overrated game is a hot take, but I think Final Fantasy VII is hot garbage, in my opinion. We, if you want to know Zach's in-depth thought about that, in the podcast I did with him, he talks a lot about why he don't like Final Fantasy VII. I
Oh, I
didn't have
can't
a lot
wait to
to
hear
say.
it.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to say. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, so, and I explained all of this in the podcast, so I won't go into detail here. Then he goes, "Hey, no judgment, Gru. Sometimes you have to dismember a cute little ass bear." I'm not sure. Oh, it's yeah. When you were saying you were eating gummy bears, one member,
Oh.
you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
first the paw,
no
then the little
judgment for that.
foot, then the other paw,
Yeah.
and then the little yeah.
So he says, "Thanks for the podcast. Hashtag don't marry your dead pets." I don't remember why. Okay. But that was Zach's comments from episode 8. And the podcast I did with him is already out. It's special episode 2. It should be the latest before this one. It's already out. All right. So, our talking point this week, because we've been talking about that on my Discord channel, and I thought it was I think at least it might be a great talking point. We'll see what we have to say on that. But we were talking about that there's a lot of games out right now. What if starting from right now, no more new games are made ever? There will be no new games. All the games that exist forever. Uh, so no more games. We have the games that are out right now. How would you live with that? What are your thoughts on this?
Go jump at the nearest lake?
Well, you could, but I I have other options to propose. Leahpar, what do you think? You're the younger here on this podcast.
Yeah, but
Imagine that there's no new games.
yeah,
There's still video games. There's a bunch of video games, but no new ones. We only have the one we have right now. Would you be okay with that? Would you be sad? Would you be would you go back and play the old games? Or would you
but because there is already too many games, so I will I will be okay because the number of games that exists right now, I can play for forever every game I want.
But okay, but keep in
Wow.
mind, there's
Yeah,
always there's always in those new games are evolving, they change, there's new stuff. You wouldn't get
yeah.
anything
Oh, did
different.
the game is not updating and anything. The game
No,
stay
no, no.
the same.
Yeah, no
Or
updates, nothing
oh
new.
no, so it's okay, because there is some game that when they are update is not the same game, and
Yeah,
you like the last game. So for me
but
to
there would
it
be
will be
no
okay.
updates.
I
There would be
think
Yeah,
no
so is
that
that the last? Yeah, because with the update, the game changed. This is okay, but when the game change everything, that's like not the same game.
Yeah, so
I
no
I
more
think Leahpar is
Yeah.
wiser than you or me. Oh, and I'm about to go run and jump in the nearest lake. And
Yeah, he's fine. So what about you, Gru? Seems you're not very okay with that.
um, I'm yeah. I mean, yeah. What Leahpar says is it's true. I mean, there's probably enough content out right now to keep us busy for the rest of our lives, but I do love the new and shiny.
Yeah, you
Gotta
want
admit, new and shiny.
you just want that rising world, aren't you? That's the old thing with that
Yes,
question.
it's out, by the way.
Oh yeah,
The
you
new
just can't
version.
play it, right?
Yeah, I can't play
Yeah,
it.
it's just that. It's fine. It's out. It exists. Yeah.
It's not completely finished, but it's playable now. I think the next update puts in NPCs and stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't been really following closely because I can't play it, and I've been pouting about
Uh-huh.
that. Um, but the new and shiny, definitely. I'm all for the new and shiny.
Yeah. So it would be a big disappointment for you if no more games were made.
I don't know if it actually would be because, like most people, I'm absolutely terrible at predicting what's going to make me happy and unhappy. Um, but I know that I am always wanting the new, always wanting the new and exciting and shiny and like I think is the reason I love traveling. I like trying out new dishes for food. I get tired of the same old very fast. So
I don't. Yeah. I get it. Well, to be fair, don't worry. It's not real. There's new games that are being made, so
Yeah.
don't worry. It's fine. On my end, I think I would live with that. Pretty okay. Uh, I tend to play. I was invited on the Old Man Gaming Horrible Game Awards last year for 2022, and I accepted the invitation. But then you had to nominate games on various categories like graphics, soundtracks, I don't know, your favorite game of the year, etc. And the rules were that the game needed to have released in 2022 or have a big update in 2022, and it was hard for me to come up with stuff because I mostly play old games when you think about it. So yeah, I don't think I would be that distressed about not getting new games. That said, of course, this is not. Oh, I don't wish that to happen. It was just an hypothetical question, just for fun. So, anything else to say about that?
um
Mm,
no.
All right.
Cool.
This was not the talking point I thought it would be. Okay. It's
You
fine.
could talk about becoming immortal so that you can play all the games.
Yeah. Would you play? Okay, here's another one then. Here's a small tangent. If you were immortal, or let's say you live very, very, very long,
Mm-hmm.
would you play all the games?
I'd certainly try.
Yeah, but yeah, you would try all the games, but I know for me at least, there's a bunch of games I have absolutely no interest to try or complete or play at all.
But
You
wouldn't
have
it become like a game to try all the games?
Yeah, if you have all the time in the world and just out of curiosity and like some kind of completionist take, like I've tried all the games.
Yes. Like, give me my award. I need a badge.
Give me the Steam achievement, you have tried all the games. Would you, Leahpar, try all the games, every game that exists? Or is there some games you just don't want to touch?
I don't think so because I will play the game I like. I will not play the game that I don't want to play.
What
So
are some... Can you give me an example of a style of game you don't want to play?
the I don't know if you say it, the RPG.
Ooh.
I don't know how to say it. You know
say
what I'm
say it in
talking
French.
about?
Say it in French and I'll translate.
RPG tour par tour.
All right, turn-based RPG.
Oh, okay.
Leahpar is really not into those turn-based RPG. Like a JRPG for him is definitely not a good news. He wouldn't play like Fantasian, let's say, as a recent example.
That. I used to prefer turn-based combat, but then after I got used to real time playing, say like Ark and Minecraft and Chimera Land when I was playing that, and of course Villagers and Heroes, I just the turn-based does seem a little bit stilted.
Oh, it's definitely slow. But older gamers were pretty much raised on turn-based. At least there was a bunch of action games too, but in the at least in the RPG genre, it was all pretty much all turn-based.
Yeah, it was
Probably.
like synonymous. RPG was turn-based, and then shooter was the action.
Yeah.
I don't try many turn-based, so I can find the turn-based that I will like. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you will come up with a turn-based RPG that you really like. There's a bunch of very good ones, but the thing with turn-based RPG is oftentimes it's all about the story. This is at least what's grabbing me. I don't... When I've played, well, it was not turn-based though, but it was a JRPG. When I played Tales of Vesperia, I've played it through the end because of the story. I didn't really care about the combat part of it. It was really about the characters and the story.
With Fantasian, there is one thing I like about the turn-based. I like to see how many of the enemy I can kill in one turn.
Yeah, you can. It's turn-based, but you can aim. You can really aim your shots in a way that you will hit quite a few enemies at a time.
Yeah,
I remember the curved one you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was pretty nice. I love Fantasian. It's a pretty good game. It's a shame that it's only available on Apple Arcade, honestly.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. it's a pretty big game to be on such a restrictive.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking because I was talking in the Afterplace Discord lately. Even Kai's the developer of Afterplace wants to bring his game on Steam and consoles, and I think if he do that, it's gonna be kind of big because this is an
Yes.
amazing game, and the reason it's not played that much is
The limited
is
audience.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's only on mobile and it's only in portrait mode. So it's definitely a turn off for quite a few people. And the game
Wait.
is
Portrait mode.
Yeah. Afterplace is played on
Oh,
portrait mode.
Afterplace.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Fantasian.
No. I switched games. I switched games. I'm talking
You
about
left me
Afterplace.
behind here.
And yeah, we were talking in his Discord, and he said, and I have it here, and I quote, even Kai saying, I do really appreciate William's video. They're basically all of the video media that Afterplace has. And it's a shame. I replied to him and said something like, it's a shame that it's the case that my little YouTube channel has pretty much I'm pretty much the only one who has a video about Afterplace. Well, I have a full playthrough, but
But
and
what is Afterplace? I know it's a video game, but
it's the I'll show you. I'll put some footage on the screen, and I'll show you later. It's a game I've played with my phone in portrait mode. There's a lot of green in the game, and you're that small character with a sword.
Oh yes,
it's kind of like old school Zelda games. I'll show you. And it's $10 too. On the App Store, there's not that many games that are that high priced. I think it's 100% worth it, but I think it would sell a lot more on Steam for $10 than on mobile.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all that to say, I think Fantasian would benefit a lot from getting out of the... well, not out. I hope that Fantasian will stay on Apple Arcade, but it would be a good thing for the game to be somewhere else, because it's a quality game. It has its fault, but it's a pretty good JRPG. All right. I guess we pretty much covered what I was planning to cover. So we are a gaming podcast, but we also need to tackle some important society question. And so this question for this week is: you are now banned from the local library. What would be the reason for it? So, Leahpar, okay, you go first.
Yeah.
You were thrown out of the library.
Yeah.
In your case, why would be the reason?
Because I talk too much.
Yeah. I can vouch for that. Yeah, this is what would this is the reason why you would be kicked out from a library. What about you, Gru? What would be the reason?
Oh,
you would be kicked out from a library?
Well, my first thought would be because I keep forgetting to return books.
All right.
But they don't kick you out for that. I know that because I've forgotten to return some books for literally years.
Yeah, at some point, at least here, the way it works is at some point you get an invoice. You're not kicked out,
yes,
but
yeah,
you will get.
You just get billed for the books, yeah.
Yep, you're gonna get.
They won't let you check out anymore until you pay it.
Yep, but you won't be kicked out for that.
Yeah, and then you of course donate money when you pay your invoice because you feel so guilty about losing their books.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I guess probably being silly, getting silly, and making too much noise too. That would probably be
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. On my end, I think they would kick me out because I would tell them how to do their job. This is the reason why I would be kicked out from a local library where I don't work. So it would be the reason. I would be telling them how to do their job. And I would be obnoxious and annoying, and they would kick me out.
I cannot see you being obnoxious and annoying.
Uh,
Unless you're making memes.
oh yeah, at least I'm making memes, and particularly double tap jump memes. This is
Post them all over your local library.
Yep. All right. So I guess this is it for this episode. Thanks for coming to talk games with me, both of you.
I mean, if you want it longer, I can rant about clothing in that farming game, that other one. What's it called? Wildflowers.
Oh, you like that game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you have to say about Wildflowers? You
They
got
had
me
an
intrigued.
update. They had an update.
Okay.
Yeah, so I downloaded.
Can you join
it.
the bad guys now?
No, you cannot join
Oh.
Black Guy. You're still railroaded into.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you have these choices, but none of them are meaningful. You're still railroaded. You cannot join the bad guys. You cannot tell Lena that she's a terrible leader. In fact, you end up telling her she's a great leader, whether you think she's a great leader or a terrible leader.
Oh man.
Yeah. So they did an update, and it's you can make clothes in it now and change the wardrobe of your main character, which is great because Tara, which is your main character, she does her farming in a mini skirt and high-heeled booties.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking at this, scratching my head, going, this won award for like inclusion and stuff, right? But
Yes, it
sure.
did. Yeah.
Let's put more emphasis on the way the main girl character looks than her ability to do her job. Sure. Okay.
It is indeed a weird choice
for a progressive game.
Yeah.
Hello.
In any other games, I would have had batted an eye, but in this one in particular, it's kind of weird.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah,
like
it is.
In almost any other game out there, like you said, she could have been farming in a chainmail bikini, and you'd be like, of course. But in this one, it's like, we're gonna be inclusive. We're gonna, do all this stuff, and she's running around in a mini skirt and little high-heeled booties, doing her farming, taking care of her farm animals in the middle of winter. I'm like, okay.
But so now
there's another part that really bugs me too. At one point, one of the NPCs, Wesley, he asks her, "What's your favorite epic?" Like Beowulf.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And she goes, "What?" She's like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Ha 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 ha. And the thing is, earlier to another NPC, she told them she was an English major.
Ooh. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I studied English for years, but I have no idea what books I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
And I'm running around farming in a mini skirt and high-heeled booties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's like we were saying last time. You really need to not think too much because, yeah. The cracks are starting to show pretty quickly when you get to really think about those things.
Yeah. Well, at least they're better than most.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It was well received for the inclusion and progressive part of it. So
well, frankly, I mean,
surely
it's good that they have people of color and other ethnicities and gay people and all that stuff. That's really good. Honestly.
yeah. They did some things right for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is odd. This is an odd choice to
Very
make.
odd choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you can make some more clothes. So
Yeah, she can wear pants.
Yeah. So I guess this is a way to offset the weird choice they made.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to rant about?
No, that's
No.
Okay.
my one and only rant of the week.
All right. Good. Not too bad of a week then.
Well, as far as gaming.
Yeah, yeah, I know. You've been sick. That was not the greatest. It was not your greatest week.
No. But wait till next week, and then I can give you a rant about the mana changes in Villagers Zeros.
Yeah, well, maybe we would have more experience with that next time we speak. We'll see.
Hopefully, nothing to rant about.
Hopefully, there's a bunch of people that have made statements like, "Oh, I'm quitting the game." It's like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, maybe they do. But I think the devs are totally open to tweak things and get that to work. I do believe, quite frankly, not to rant about this too long, but I do believe there was something to redesign about mana.
Yes, it definitely needed to be worked on.
Yeah, because were you drinking mana potions on a regular basis? I never touch them. I have like 1,000 mana potions in my vault. It was never a problem. Mana was
depends.
mana for me. Mana was just the blue bar next to my red bar, and it did nothing. I never had to think about mana.
Well, you are a holy priest, right?
Yes. I know I'm the infinite mana class. I get that, but this is still a reason to work on mana, because if you have a class that mana is just not. Mana should be a game mechanic. That's what I'm trying to say. If it's there just to be there, it's useless.
I'm nature hunter. My main is.
Mm-hmm.
My secondary is holy priest, and then I have a marksman hunter too that I play on a fairly regular basis. But my main is nature hunter. That's what I know the best. I never had a mana problem before raids. Honestly, I never crafted a mana potion before raids. I didn't even know the recipe. I didn't know the whole 10% thing, use the blueberry pots before raids, because it just wasn't necessary.
Which is not, it should be. It should be a mechanic that you need to understand to play effectively.
And
because,
still, for me, like when I'm just out doing quests and stuff in regular zones, it's not an issue. Occasionally I run low, but just stopping in for a minute or two usually recovers it just fine. But usually, because I'm doing other things besides just in combat, the mana recovers naturally on its own.
Yeah.
It's the only other time before raids that I ever used mana pots was in event zones when they're doing a round of bosses. And in those cases, I would just use, and the ladder and the veil. I would just use the premium pots because you get a certain number of those monthly and whatever. So I had enough built up that I could use one or two in the event zone and every few months, and it wasn't a big deal. Of course, with raids, you use a lot, so that's not going to work. And you have to use did use the blueberry pots.
Yep.
For me, the only time mana was an issue was during raids when you're constantly in combat for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. And the mana recovery rate is so much lower than it is when you're out of combat.
Yeah, I'll have to see. For now, the only raids I've played since the patch were solo bronze raids, so nothing really hard in that. But yeah, we'll have to see. I sure hope that knowledgeable players, because we have quite a few, will make constructive criticism on the forums, so it can be tweaked and end up enjoyable for most players. You won't please everybody, but yeah.
I want to give myself a chance to try to make some experiments with talents and stuff before I make any comments about what I think of the changes, because I haven't explored all my options yet.
This is what happens with the online games. They change. For the better or for worse. Even when it's for the better, sometimes it kind of feels like it's worse. So
it can be
relearning a game is kind of annoying. It's like when you're good at something, like in real life, and you don't do that particular thing for a long time, and then you try to get back to it and you suck, and it's super frustrating. So I understand that relearning is not that great, but anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So thanks to both of you to have come talk games with me.
Well, thank you.
Leahpar, still there?
Yeah.
Or did you fall asleep during the Villagers and Heroes rant?
No, I was listening.
All right. Yeah, well, Leahpar doesn't play Villagers and Heroes. Maybe he should.
But I want to try, and it's you don't want.
Yeah, I need to. It's because I need to supervise just a bit.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we'll get you into Villagers and Heroes. Well, yeah. I don't know how you'll like it, but let's do that at some point. But anyway, that's all for me. Leave us your comment in the comment section down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks to both of you.
Thank you, and see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.